What do your characters remember happening last session? That's the big question.
Not a damn thing.
As you all,
I moved the table.
as you all are leaving this Greenway Resort, I'll say what you remember from last session is you were getting ready for bed, going to sleep. A couple of you had a little bit of dreams, maybe, and you were rudely awoken. And what you all remember, is something went wrong, and you had to leave your room. And you are now determined, though you're not entirely sure why, determined to leave this resort, or at least get out of this vine. That is your goal at the moment. That's what you've all kind of decided on as you're leaving. And so, as you all are leaving the room, you start going down the water elevator, very Minecraft-like, pulls you down, and you reach the first floor. Looks very much the same, just this huge open area. Kind of the lights are a little bit dimmer, but you can still see and hear. And it is obvious that you all see the exits. But you see some people milling around. It's not like bare and empty. It looks like there's some workers. There's these people in those blue and orange robes. And you see people roaming around, but it doesn't seem like a lot of patrons. It seems like most people are gone to bed. You see people like kind of rolling carts with various towels and things like that, and cloths and clothes. And you make it to the bottom. What do you all do?
So,
oh boy.
So what do we actually remember?
Yeah.
Just that we want to leave, that's it?
Just that we need to leave, right?
Well, I'm going to start talking about what I have on my hand, which is what I have written down.
Mm-hmm. As you're leaving.
Scary fantasy music playing.
I also
tried,
I carved into like the room somewhere, like base or something like that.
You were able to write. Yeah, you were able to write down base and heads, if I remember correctly.
So, am I able to remember that I like lost my memory, saw that, and be like, I wrote that down, so I have those words in my head.
I'll say like the dexterity check was able to get something that you could write down onto, so you have like a piece of paper with that written down.
Okay. Yay!
And so Felix has base and heads, and Turlon has fought creatures causing murders. We are forgetting snake-like, and then you added two-headed creature to it. And in terms of, for you, Vita, you don't remember any of this. You kind of remember Alden lifting, or not Alden, John lifting up a table. But it was too heavy, trying to carry it out. And John, you remember that you carried, that you brought a plate back with you. You may be still holding it, maybe you put it in your bag. You don't know why, but you have a plate.
Yeah. Like, where are we going? Where are we trying to go?
Away. I don't. What time? It's like night now, right?
It is, yeah, it's middle of the night. And I will say, as you all are kind of looking around at each other, I'll say in your brain, this is probably one of few times that you've all experienced this, or maybe many times, depending on your characters, but a thought enters your brain. That is not like a voice or something. It is your own brain. But it's not a thought that comes out of your own fruition, and you think in your head that it is now day 2200 of the 37th era of Vadana. As midnight is struck, it is Hundredth Day.
Happy
Hundredth Day. We should go somewhere else outside of the
Hundredth
Greenway.
Yeah, I'm moving, and I show you guys what I have written on my arm. I think I wrote this down. He must have been fighting that thing.
Seems
We
so.
forgot to just like that one man in his journal. And I'm moving as we say this.
I also show them like the little piece of paper. Like, all right, so between what I have written and what Turlin has written, it's got multiple heads.
Mhm.
I don't know why I wrote base. Okay, I feel like it's not that above board. It's not a huge reach for me to say like see the word base and be like the bottom of something, like
Yeah.
base of the big ass vine. That's not unreasonable, right?
That is not unreasonable. No,
Okay.
I would be fine with the idea of the base of the vine.
And with how hard I'm feeling right now, I believe you guys.
We should
But we
start.
need
We
to
should
leave.
start making our way to Sir Ross.
Yeah.
John.
Let's stay there. Yeah. They got
all,
room, right?
all we have is you said something about a base. I wrote down that it was snake-like. Is that like anything you saw about? You read about?
Yup, it's the one with two heads, and there's one head that sings and makes you fall asleep, and the other one eats you. So I don't remember exactly what the name was, but I remember that it looked a certain way, and I bet we got a book back at the Vein Breakers shop that we can look into. Someone probably knows what it is.
We should check our body full wounds, see if we can see how it hurt us. And I'm gonna start like presumably the adrenaline flowing because obviously I, the player, know that my character was injured, but I presume the adrenaline flowing. We're now just taking a moment. I look at my body, see if I can intuit anything about the way I have been injured, if I have been injured, knowing that we did some healing between rounds.
Yeah, how about
I forgot.
you all give me perception checks for me and have them be public just for fun.
That is fun.
Tell me. Cool.
Clicking the skill section for my millionth perception roll, even though I know it's not
Oh
there.
wait, shit.
Hell yeah.
I didn't log in.
Why are you carrying that plate again? Smell-
Plate. Someone said it was a piece of the monster,
Oh yeah. Okay.
so I'm just assuming it to be true.
Yeah, me too.
A very ornate plate.
Let me. I haven't run my fucking freaking thing yet. Public perception check. Roll.
Can I go up to a staff member after we're done with this perception roll and ask them, what does this look like with the plate?
Yes, yeah, we'll do the perception check first. Based off of looking at your all's bodies, Felix, you have no injuries on you from what you can see.
Feel different.
Turlon, you see on your body, you can kind of feel some pain in your right shoulder. And if you kind of like move some clothing around, you can see that there's like a large, like almost like line on the front and also on the back of your shoulder, as if something had like bitten it from either side, I guess is the best way of putting it. And Vita, you have pretty severe, like blunt force trauma on your front and your back. And you remember waking up on the ground, so this monster or this creature, whatever it is, must have hit you really hard for you to, like, fly off your feet and hit the ground. That kind of seems like what it would be like. And John, you also feel like, there's no discernible injuries. Your arm's kind of wet, but you look down and it kind of looks like, where's my dice? Oh, there it is.
My dice, my dice.
My dice.
Guy doesn't even know where his dice is.
I
God,
Gary.
roll.
bad DM.
My bike.
That's your job.
It's
Bro.
it is, your arm is wet and you look at it and you're like, oh, that must have been just like I didn't dry it off after I went through like the water elevator. But that's all what you kind of discern. But I'll say, John, if there's workers around, they see you kind of looking and they walk over and they say yes, and you ask, what is
am I
this?
holding?
Yeah, what am I holding? and they say, "Well, it looks like a little white bowl that you have there. Is this your property? It's a very nice bowl."
Never mind. And I walk away.
They
You
say,
gotta.
"Oh,
If this
okay."
thing actually is, if this thing actually is a body part, then it must have illusory powers of some kind.
Yeah.
That sounds like it sucks.
Yeah, and you're all looking at it. It looks like a plate. I don't know what bowl, but who knows? Maybe
Oh,
that's
I'm
what
gonna
they
not
call
tell.
bowl, you
bowls here.
think.
Wait, yeah, hold on. No, actually, it's like.
It's like a
Hold on.
flat
Sorry,
plate.
sorry. Like,
Yeah.
no doubt in our mind, it's absolutely not a bowl.
Yeah.
And this
Yeah.
isn't like a language thing.
I mean, you've never bowls and plates have never been confused in your presence, any four of you. So I'll say
Okay.
it is a little weird,
We just
but
gotta get
So
out of here.
It's
I'm
We
yeah.
gotta
gonna.
fuck off.
Let's move. It's definitely
I'm gonna tell the
illusory.
lady. You gotta just get everybody out of here. It's not safe to be here. Just. And then
Oh
I'm
yeah,
gonna
in
turn
the
around and
hotel.
leave.
it says,
Panic on Thursday. Let's go.
yeah, what's the danger?
Nope.
What's
I'm
wrong?
not answering. We gotta leave. I'm
It's a
leaving.
long story. You just have to evacuate the whole
Yeah.
hotel.
I'm out of the door.
Yeah, we gotta
Yeah.
go.
I'm
Bye.
gonna
Good luck.
leave. We're not going to be able to get them to do a whole evacuation.
Well, I mean, we tried.
We try.
She's
Yeah,
just
sure.
like, you just
Already
all
out the
start
door.
leaving away.
Sorry, ma'am.
Okay, so
Oh.
it has some sort of base at the bottom. It has two heads. It's snake-like. It has illusory powers. Well, that explains pretty easily why people don't know where it is, and no one's found it yet.
Yeah, and I'll say
How do
it's
you even fight something like that? How do we have a way of remembering it? And then
very
I literally say out loud, "Oh," and then I reach into my bag and I pull out my potion of short-term memory
Uh,
that I got made before we
oh
went in.
yes, you do remember that.
And I have two, so I'm gonna take the second one and just hand it to. I'm gonna hand it to Felix.
Okay. And so y'all are outside the vine right now, just to
Yeah.
clarify.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So do you drink it down? I'll say based off of what you know, like based off of just the description of everything, you're not like taking some phantom like potion. This is a potion and its effects are like any blocking of memories, either due to memory loss or some magical effects are just gone for any memories that have happened in the past 12 hours. So do you chug it down?
Oh yeah.
Drink.
gulp that shit, my man.
Big gulp down.
You gulp it down and
Big
you
gulp down.
feel this kind of cold sensation go through your body, and you've had potions and things before. It's a very similar feeling. You can feel its effects starting to take over, and it seems to rush to your head as you feel like, almost as, Felix doesn't have glasses, but like if you don't have glasses on, you put on glasses, your senses kind of become heightened for just a moment. And I'll say,
Like a headache.
yeah, exactly.
little
You start to get a little headache just because it is a little overwhelming. But I'd like for you to do
Not like
a fortitude save, please, for me. And this is one that it may be okay to fail. I'll put it that way.
18.
Stupid cringe potion doesn't work because my body's too amazing at filtering toxins.
I
Sorry.
Well, Felix, you got to do a fortitude save throw.
I didn't drink it.
drank it.
for a long drink.
I thought you handed it to Felix.
I have two. I have two.
I put it in my bag. We don't need to drink both right now.
Oh, okay.
In
Sorry, I
Steven's
was
defense,
very
you
confused.
did say gulp, gulp, gulp as soon as I said it. So
No,
That
I can
is
see why Steven
Well,
thought you drank
I
it.
get it.
Okay.
No,
No, what?
yeah,
Regardless.
that one's on me. Yeah, the sound effects really do. It's a condition.
It
Be
is.
clear,
Okay.
one gulp in me currently.
Yeah. Okay.
You
So
gulped once and everything's
I get it now. I get it now.
shambles.
So Terlin, I'll say a little bit of a headache, and I'll say there's two things. This is before the fortitude save. This whole time there's been kind of just that pressure in the middle of your forehead that you've just felt, and it got stronger as you've gotten here, but you've kind of gotten used to it. Like it's almost, you're the body has a natural way of just getting used to feelings like a chronic pain. But as soon as you drink this potion for, these moments, that pain is just gone from your head. Now you're still a little overwhelmed by all the senses, but whatever that pain just in the center of your mind is gone. But I will say, based off your fortitude save, you start to feel this intense pain in your ears. Like, if you all have like flown and you don't like, pop out the air pressure, you get this heavy pressure in your ears as there's the air differential, right? And just that pressure of your ears kind of popping all at once, and there's just this, this pain of the muscles as it feels like your eardrum is kind of just flexing. And I'll say that, it's kind of hurting that it's hurting so much that you have to almost like temporarily just like close your eyes as your ears begin to hurt quite a bit. And I'll say, Turlon, as you kind of open your eyes, your ears still hurting, everything around you is very muffled. It's almost like temporarily your hearing is gone. And as this happens, it's a lot darker all of a sudden outside. I mean, there was some moonlight, there was some torches around. It's a lot darker, and as you start to look around, and I'll say the other three of you just see Turlon just kind of like hold their head and then look up and start looking around. Turlon, you see not only the vine in front of you and also just all around you. As you look up the vine, you don't just see the leaves of the vine, you start to see these stalks almost that are kind of stretching off of the side of the vine, almost coming out of the vine in some places. You see the doorway in front of you. There appear to be like 3 or 4 of just these long snake-like stalks that are coming out and just going up into the sky. And as you look up, these things are hundreds of feet tall, and there's dozens and dozens of them, and they seem to all be emanating from the Greenway Resort. And they're blocking out the sun, and it appears like just for these 2 or 3 seconds as you look up and you see this vision in front of you, not even a vision, just the sight in front of you, you're hearing, you kind of you feel your ears pop for a moment, right, as the air differential kind of changes, and you're able to hear again. And as you start to blink, those stalks begin to fade very rapidly within like half a second. And
Can I
now
like
you're
pull
just
out
looking at a
a piece
vine.
of paper to try to write that down?
Yeah, absolutely. You can write.
You guys see me? I'm like looking up at one point, like I just look up, like awestruck at the Greenway, and then for a second, I like just like frantic, like shocked. I reach haphazardly to grab my journal, and I start like summarizing that. And as I'm writing, to say, they're everywhere, all over the Greenway. I must have seen dozens of them. The snake. Can you not see them? And I like point to the
No.
Greenway.
No.
Looks like a vine, yeah.
It's there's like snake like creatures all over that, all around it.
Just that vine or all the vines?
Just the Greenway, all over it. They look like they were emanating from the bottom, just all around it. I mean, there must have been maybe 100.
And before you keep going, Turlon, what is it exactly that you write down?
Sure, I will go ahead and how many words do you think I can fit in? Like just rough estimate.
Depends. I mean, you're answering their questions, and so you're kind of writing at the same time. So I'll say 20 words, like
Okay.
a message.
Yep. I'm writing it in chat right now.
And I'll say based off of your roles, you are able to write it however you would like. You don't have to like do it quickly. But I'll say as soon as you keep saying these things, it's starting to get harder and harder to think about what exactly you saw. Like before you saw everything and you saw all these stalks, but then you just saw something emanating from the Greenway Resort, and now you start thinking about it. You just saw something. You don't even remember what exactly it is, even as you're writing this.
All right, I write that.
Took memory potion and saw dozens of snake creatures going up the entire greenway, memories fading. So I'll say, yeah, it seems like Turlon is kind of freaking out that they've taken this potion, and I'll say that in front of your sight, you're having a hard time remembering exactly what you saw. But in terms of what happened in the room, based off your fortitude saving throw, I'll say you remember those same exact, like those stalks that you saw were very familiar to what you all saw, or to what you saw in the room and what you had fought. You didn't
I
see
will
any
say-
heads, but you remember fighting those things. Like those two things are connected. It's not like what you just saw and what was in the room are disconnected.
Are my memories of the room fading as well? The newfound memories that I had just briefly.
Of the room, no. I'll say you're fine with the room right now.
I will say, right as my memory, you see, right as my memory is like fading. I'm just okay, you Stephen. I say the things I see up there. That's what we fought. And then you see, I like start to like write, and you see me like blink
Hmm.
and do a double take as I just like look at my writing, and I look at it
Okay.
confused,
Let's back up away from the greenway. Just
and then I look up to you guys. What was I saying?
let's move
Yep.
away.
Leave now. You took a. Oh, by the way, you took a potion and you saw like the snake body part.
Yeah,
That
it helped.
spot. It
Yeah.
helped,
Yeah.
and they were stretching all over the greenway, which is a
And
really
they
fucked up concept.
came
It's
up
good and
from
bad.
seemingly
let's move.
almost nowhere.
Let's fucking
Good.
move.
It
I'm
seems
gonna
they're
like
only
kind of like
localized in the greenway though. So
Or
let's just move to another vine. Get out of here for a second.
I'm gonna like fold up my journal and just like shove it in the pocket and say, yeah, let's move. Let's go.
How far away do you all want to go?
I think we
outside.
go back to Sir Ross, the
Yeah,
Bandbreakers, right?
Okay.
we're walking there.
Yeah, absolutely do that. We can do a nice little measurement.
And I'm gonna while you're doing that, I guess I'll talk as we're going.
Mm-hmm.
So if what I just wrote down is to be believed, there's dozens of those things. No wonder there's been so many deaths.
Well, because I think it's just the one.
But dozens
Steven.
of
Two
bodies and
heads.
arms.
No, I mean two heads, one thing. Like, did you see where they were coming from? Were they all leading back to one place?
So I saw that it was on the bottom, but I did not write that down. So Stephen, that's up to you.
Yeah, based off of what you wrote, you saw dozens of snake creatures going up the entire greenway.
But do I remember now that we saw that we Felix called out that he saw a base during the fight?
I mean,
Do you
yeah,
have those
Felix
memories?
Felix has that written down. Felix has written down base and heads.
And
I don't remember.
is the greenway a single vine, or is it just like an area of land with multiple big ass vines? Because
So
I
the
thought it was an area of land with multiple vines.
yeah, so the area, or it's the district of
Yeah,
the
we zoom
greenway,
out.
but you all are on the Greenway Resort, is where you all, and that's where like
Oh,
everything's
that's
been
what you meant
happening.
by the greenway. Okay.
Yeah, so
Hey,
you can
So
presume.
even seeing those
DM.
things must make you forget what you saw right as you see it. I mean, we walked right past. If those things were there when we entered the Greenway, we saw them and don't even remember seeing them as we walked in. It must be a very powerful ability to make people forget like that. Very
What's up?
powerful illusionary magic.
What's up, John?
Um, two things.
Mhm.
Does John know the name of the monster that seems to be fitting the description of what they fought from when he was in the library? And based on his time in OA, does he know if there's like an underground sewer system or underground like sections of the city this thing could be hiding in?
I will say, based off of those two things, yeah, so the thing that you read about, before I say the name of it, the thing you read about was kind of this humanoid creature with these two kind of like 3 foot, 4 foot long heads, like two next to each other. Excuse me. And so to hear dozens of these snakes and heads doesn't exactly match it. It could be close. But the name of it is a stonessa, is the name of the creature. Now, in terms of the sewers, give me a society check.
No.
Mm.
You can't make me.
You don't know
fuck
anything
no.
about no sewers, dude.
I just don't know. Okay.
I'll say that in terms of you don't know about any sewers, but you do know that these vines go deeper than just their surface. I mean, they're so large they have to. And so many of these vines don't just have like the floors above, but there's many floors below. And so, and many of them you've heard rumored, you've never actually seen it yourself, but just the rumors with the vein breakers that they are connected in some way, right? Like they, their roots are connected, I guess is the best way of putting it. So no sewer system, but in terms of things that are underground, these vines could very well have passages underground. It's kind of like a sewer.
All right. Can I get the name of the monster again? It was Sonessa.
Stonessa.
Stonessa.
Also, entirely unrelated, by the way, I got lunch with Steven and a mutual friend this week, and we talked about this game, and that mutual friend looked at us and said, "Oh, I know the monster you're fighting.
Good
That's
for
a good
them.
one."
Good for them. Doesn't
How
matter. Good
how
for
they know
them.
Sumia things? They never played
Yeah.
Sumia.
How do they know? Do they know?
No, shit.
They're in cahoots,
Does he
I
know?
guess.
How do they know? Does he
Doesn't
know?
know.
But
The
yes, you're thinking of the roots are connected. You don't know about any sewer systems, but underground networks for sure. You've heard of.
Well, um, based on my time with the Vein Breakers, there could be a couple underground networks that this thing could be hiding in and popping its head out of. Heads, if there's a base or something, or if it's like, just individual ones. They could be worms, just kind of popping their heads out.
Could be worms.
Could be weird.
But I don't know if the critter from the book is the right thing. But it was called a stonessa. Are any of you familiar with stonessas?
No.
Am I Mr. Game Master?
I'd say roll an occultism check for me, Felix and Turlon.
Of all the things I'm capable of doing, I don't think it's that one.
I am capable of that.
Oh wait, no, I am trained because of the fucked up stuff from
Oh, the fucked up stuff.
Yeah, there was a bunch of fucked up evil magic, and I was like, I should learn about this because I'm gonna fight it.
True that.
Guys, it stings.
It's
Not gonna lie to you.
16's not bad. 16,
So
you
back
can
to
drive
you.
a
It's
car.
not bad.
true.
Guys, we're playing Pathfinder. 16 is 16 is nothing. It's a joke.
21, you can drink alcohol.
There you go. That's how I should think of
Mhm.
these roles. These ages.
Could a 16-year-old do this?
Could a 16-year-old know what a stonessa is? I'll say that for both of y'all, Turlon and Felix, the name doesn't ring any bell. I mean, the description of a humanoid creature with two heads, one that sings, one that devours, seems pretty fucked up. I'll say that it is certainly no natural creature, not anything that the gods have looked favorably upon. I'll say that.
Sucks to hear.
So, doesn't sound like anything. You don't recognize the name, but I'll say as y'all are walking back, it's about a 5 mile thing, but based
That guy
off of
talks about, you said human-like?
humanoid shaped, like it's like
Mm,
body
I
with
mean,
legs and then two heads next to each other.
can I talk as we're going?
Yeah,
Or do you have
go
to...
for it. No,
I'd say
you have
as we're
it's a good
as we're
distance.
walking around,
No.
I would say, but I did write that it was snake-like, not human-like.
Maybe it
Okay.
stretches.
Yeah, maybe it's really big. I mean, how high up were we in our room? Does anybody remember?
100th floor.
We are 135, 135th floor.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you.
pretty high up.
Pretty big.
High. Yeah.
Yeah.
I also wrote snake creatures in the thing I wrote just a few minutes ago.
I think we've got to take that whole resort down.
Cut it off at the base.
Yeah, hopefully it's not a type of creature that like works its way into the foundations of the building. That'd suck.
I
Building
suppose
Well,
fine.
You know how this plate is apparently part of the monster?
I'll say
Yeah.
as soon as you say that, John, you look at it and you're holding like a circular piece of bone,
Oh.
and
What the
Ye-
fuck?
you said plate, and everybody else, you look at it and it's like this 2-inch thick, ragged bone, as if like you took a spine vertebrae and just expanded it to be, about a foot in diameter.
Quick! Everyone think about what we fought. Quick!
I try to recall our time in the room.
You,
Yeah, I don't remember.
it's just as hazy for you all. You try and remember back, and you remember there's some shit that went down, and you all had to leave, and you have all this shit written on like arms and on these pieces of paper. But you all do remember that this used to be a plate.
Okay,
the-
wait. What about my arm? Is it still wet with, like, what does it look like? The one that was wet.
You look at your arm, and it has like this kind of black liquid on it. Kind of have this darker tone. It's almost like you had dipped your hand in some black goo of some kind.
Holy shit,
Okay.
you punched it.
is the
I guess I punched
ripped
it.
out a bone.
maybe the memory loss it causes is permanent, but the illusory power it holds is limited.
Is in a
With a
radius.
range.
Yeah.
Could we maybe
Okay.
what if we looked at telescopes exist in this world, right? I'm not crazy for thinking that.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'll
Ghosts
say
are
yeah.
not real.
Ghosts are real.
Get,
Could we
I
I'll
can
say
transform
yes.
into animals, but like I draw the line at ghosts.
Could we-
Like, that's
A lot
fucking
of
stupid.
could
optics.
we look at it from a telescope from far away,
But
maybe?
it should be said.
Wait, how recently did we realize this thing is not a plate anymore? Can one of us just turn around and jog back a little bit?
You're about
And
like
see-
2 miles away. Yeah. From it.
Can we
It's-
try
Wait.
that?
Yeah, turn back.
The
See,
last
just
time we
turn back
checked
to the
was
plate.
with the lady at the base in the vine, right?
Yes, that's the last time you
Yeah.
like looked at it directly.
Let me turn back and walk for like 20 seconds to where I can still see them. And then I'll try and look at the plate from that distance and see.
Yeah, hold up the plate.
Like 20 seconds, you still see a bone looking thing. Doesn't look like a plate.
Alright. Maybe I'll go a little further. How far can I get away from them where I can still see this plate?
We can
Uh,
also move with you.
yeah, to
Well,
see it discernibly.
I guess we can all just turn back and try and just stare at it.
We shouldn't go too close, but we can go maybe a mile back.
Let's try it. Let's see if we
But
can
wait,
find a
Let's
wait,
radius.
just
wait.
let's
Before-
just
before, I'm
walk
gonna write
back and hold. Okay, yeah, write that down.
I'm gonna
Let's-
write this down.
But just like walk back and then hold it out in front of you,
Yeah, exactly.
and then we'll. This is gonna be rough, but we just have to like try and pay attention to like when we feel something is off, because we might forget that it was a piece of bone. Also,
Can we write on it? Do we have any
I'm-
like paint or something?
I'm writing on paper. I'm writing on paper right now. I can write a copy of it for everyone.
If we could write on the bone, just like not plate or something, just so like we're looking at it.
I got
yeah.
I got that.
Yeah.
Hang on. I have what I wrote. John was carrying a plate because we thought it might be a body part. After walking far, we realized it was.
Yep.
I am going to write that twice. Once to leave in my notebook. I'm gonna write it again. I'm gonna rip it out. I'm gonna grab through my esoterica and look for something gross and sticky and use it to stick the paper onto the plate,
Okay,
onto the bone.
perfect.
I'll say, Turlon, give me, or no, I'll do something for you. You keep going. Don't worry about
Never
That's
mind,
a-
I'll do it. Don't worry.
it. Don't worry
I-
about it.
That's all I
Touch the
got.
bone and die.
I have
As
a copy of that written in my notebook as well.
okay, as you're going through your shit, Turlon, there's these chunks of flesh that you don't remember getting. You don't remember ever having. It's like 6 like almost cubes of like this weird
Yeah.
gray flesh.
You guys see me going to put it away, put my notebook away, and I like feel another thing, and I like pause, and I pull out a glob of flesh. This
Ew,
is
what
new.
the fuck is that?
This is new. I did not have this before. This must be also from the creature.
That's just free
Uh,
roaming in your bag?
In one of my many pockets. It's in its own separate pocket. I pull it out of that, kind of like knowing you guys are gonna be grossed out. I like kind of point
Man,
it
why are
towards
you
you.
putting it? Don't put
Okay.
shit like that in your bag, man.
Take a look
Your
at it.
pockets.
Dude, you
No
is that
wax
why you smell
paper?
this so bad all the time?
Well, normally I put these things in some sort of jar or something to keep it fresh, but we didn't have much. I'm assuming I was worried we would forget what the thing was and wanted a flesh sample. Do any of you know anything about this? I'm not. I'm averaging I don't.
Man,
Nope.
that looks
Yeah.
like gray goo in a cube. I don't know what to tell
Yeah.
you.
It's a
Let's
gray
just-
cube
let's
that
figure this
kind of has this black slimy stuff over
It's
it.
like upsettingly squishy.
Well, maybe
Yep.
this is the black slimy stuff similar to what's on his arm.
I'll say it's similar enough. Yeah.
Got it. I'm gonna put the goop cube back in my
You have
pocket.
6 of them, just so you know.
I have enough goop cubes to share if you want any.
Cube.
The
No
cube.
thanks.
Loot get.
You got gross cube.
All right, now we do our experiment.
So are we written on it? Not plate.
You
Not
taped a piece
plate.
of
I
paper
put the
to
piece of
it,
paper that said the whole thing.
Paste.
Okay.
Yep.
pasted a piece of paper on there, and
And
we're
we're
just
all
gonna walk
watching it.
back, holding it out to see how, like, where
hmm
When it
the
changes.
discrepancy comes in.
Yeah.
I'm going to go out of my way just to add a little layer to this. I'm going to not look at it.
Okay.
I'm going to not look at it
All right.
until we've decided to stop moving, and then I'm going to look at it. So I'm not seeing it the whole time.
I'm gonna hold it directly in front of my eyes, like just
Okay.
staring right at it.
um. Let me for just a moment. Oh,
We're
Man,
breaking your
expected a
y'all,
human
puzzle.
Yeah, check
y'all
it
are
out,
really,
man.
y'all really
Mikey,
love a
Mikey,
good
Steven,
conundrum.
think about all the rules of this. I'm going to use the bathroom real quick while you big brain, Steven.
Big brain.
A big
Y'all,
dog.
y'all walk for about a minute back. I mean, you probably walk like a good half a mile. And so the 3 of you are looking at the plate,
Yes.
Okay.
and Turlon is not looking at the plate. Yes,
Yes.
that
Yes.
is what I am understanding.
We're all together.
This is such a weird sight. Just
We have a control group. Erlon's the control group.
We're
We
walking
need
in
this
formation.
information.
yeah.
Yeah.
They could be
also,
anywhere, and we're just forgetting it. We gotta figure it out.
as soon as you're walking for about a quarter mile, half a mile, you all are still very far away from the Greenway Resort. A good like mile and a half maybe. And Alden, you
Alden.
you or Alden, yeah, you're right.
That's
John,
Felix's fake name. Oh.
that's Alden's Felix. Yeah, exactly. John, as you are walking, it begins. You're staring at these words, and you're kind of repeating them in your head. It's like, okay, I have a plate, but it's a body part.
Rob.
Okay, and you're reading it, and you're trying to make sense of it. But as you walking, you kind of blink a little bit, and it looks blurry for a moment, and then you blink again, and there's no words on the page that you see in front of you.
This fucking bitch ass monster.
What do you do, John?
What? So, from a gameplay perspective, would John remember that there were words on the page?
For
Or
a
like
good
supposed to be?
for a good 5 seconds, you're going to. So whatever you think.
They're gone. The words are gone. The words are gone. The words are gone.
Yeah, they're gone.
In that brief time, do I have a moment to pull out my notebook and write it?
I'll say, yeah, if you're prepped and ready to hear something and ready, I'd
Is
imagine
it
so.
still a plate
Yeah, what do we see?
or a bone?
I'll say when John says the words are gone, you all are looking at it, and for a moment you're like, the words are there, but then you blink and the words have disappeared. He's right, the words aren't there.
I say in character, I hate this fucking thing.
The words aren't there, and then as the just moments pass, a couple seconds, why would there be words on it? kind of starts to get into your mind a little bit. I'll say, does it still look like a plate? It still looks like a bone right now. It looks like a bone of something. But there's just no words written on it right now, as you all have kind of stopped here.
So it still looks like a bone with it's a bone with a blank piece of paper on it.
What about how do I factor
Yes.
into all of this? Having looked away, am
You
I also forgetting? Because it's been present in my mind, not because I'm looking at it, but because of what happened previously. That there were supposed to be words on the paper. We were trying to see what happened when we walked closer.
if are you deliberately not looking at it this whole time? You don't
Continuing
even.
to not look at it, yes.
Okay. You are choosing to believe your party members that they do not see words on it. You remember the fact that there were words on it, but you're not entirely sure if there were, considering they're all saying that there's no words on it now.
I'm gonna say we wrote it down. I have the words we wrote down, and I'm going to say it out loud. John was carrying a plate because we thought it might be a body part. After walking far, we realized it was a body part. And seems just moments ago, none of you remember can see it anymore.
Okay, but it is a body
I
part.
promise you there was words there on that.
As Turlon,
I
as
have
you're
this written
saying
down.
that, Vita, you see the words that Turlon just said. They're on the piece of paper for
Okay,
like a second or
they're
two.
there. Yeah. Okay. It's definitely an illusion. I saw them for just a second, just when you
We
said
should
you
walk
read
away.
them.
We should walk back away now. Great discovery.
Wait, how far away are we from the Greenway Resort?
Like a
Yeah,
mile and
like
a half.
at this exact moment where the words fuck up.
Like a mile and a half.
Mile and a half.
But it didn't
Okay.
turn into a plate. The words just fucked up.
Right now, the words are just fucked. It still looks like
It's like a bone.
The
bone.
magic must get stronger the closer you get.
I wonder
Yeah.
if it keeps expanding every day.
Maybe we should let's get back to Sir Ross as soon as we can.
Okay, I have one last idea.
What is it?
I want to go up to the Greenway Resort. You said there were dozens of the heads kind of circling the vine.
I that's what I wrote.
Yeah,
Do you
wrote down
remember
dozens of snake creatures. Yeah.
if they turned into something, when you looked away, like this plate, this bone apparently turned into a plate? Like, did they change back into something?
Above board. I know that my character saw the snake creatures turn into vines. Do I remember any moment of thinking those vines are where the snakes I saw was? And can I connect that with what I've written down, or is that too far of a leap? Because I think that is a pretty big leap.
They didn't. Erlon didn't see them turn into vines. They just disappeared.
I don't know. But if we think there's a possibility of that,
Okay.
we have one more potion we can use.
We have to assume anything we see over there could be the creature.
I was going to say, I kind of wanted to go back and just started punching like vines and
Nope.
see if I landed something, like fishing.
We should
no,
leave.
you're gonna get yourself killed.
We
You
should-
should go back to Sir Ross
Fuck off.
All right. All right. Probably the safer, albeit less fun, bet.
And if I'm being honest, while this contract's been great, I think the three of us should just leave 08. Like, tell Sir Ross, I think it's too. Sorry, John, you're nice, but
Oh, yeah, I got it.
I think
see what
this
Sir
is
Ross
bad.
says. Let's see what Sir Ross says.
All right.
All right. So we got to get back to the central hub.
Scene transition.
I'll
Well, how
say
does
easy
John know how to
enough.
get back down to the?
Did they give us a stone?
You did not get a stone. No.
Fuck.
Bastards.
All right, I guess we'll
But
walk.
but John knows how to get back in. Into.
I swear the door was right here.
Fuck.
I put
Always
the
been here.
Banebreaker's tunic back on.
Yep,
Every 100th day, they rearrange all the doors.
exactly.
Such a stupid 08 tradition. I don't even know why they do that. Fuck.
Let me change some settings real quick.
Shut up, any gamers tonight?
Let me. You
He
all
knows what we're doing.
go back down 1 second. Let me delete some stuff. Move some people around. Who gives a shit? You get it.
You get it.
You get it. I'll say you all come down the vein breakers, once again kind of passing that transportation room the three of you first entered through. But you all come down and you see the familiar sight of the vein breakers kind of base. And you see Sir Ross sitting at a table looking like he's talking with someone else. And he kind of turns around and he says, "Oh, hi! Oh, that's not his voice. Oh, hi! Welcome. Welcome back. Are you all fine?" He kind of glances you once
Nope.
over and he says, "You all look a little rough.
news.
What's happened?
Bad
Bad.
news.
What's
Bad
happened?"
news.
He says,
I'm gonna
"Please
pull out my
come over here." And he's
I'm
kind
gonna
of
pull out my
goes over to the
papers,
center.
like just start organizing the various papers and stuff I have written down,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna like pull open my sleeve and show him what's written on my arm.
Mm-hmm.
I would say we found the creature.
He
It's
says,
causing the murders.
"There's a creature that's causing. It's a monster."
I'm gonna look to like the three of you guys. Yeah.
Yep.
You
Here,
wanna-
check this out. And I throw on
Yeah.
the bone.
He kind of gets caught. He catches it and he says, "Oh, did you kill the creature?"
Uh, no, apparently not. It apparently has more than one head, or there's more than one of them. I don't know.
we encountered it while we were spending a night at the Greenway. We don't have any memories of the encounter, but we have signs of it. The body part, what I wrote on my arm, and then we saw it again briefly outside when I took a memory reviving potion, and I have some notes from when that happened as well. It seems there's dozens of some snake-like creature, or dozens of arms of one creature. We
I'll
don't know
say,
exactly.
Turlon, do you think for your character would have looked at your left arm, or not your left arm, your right arm, wherever it's written, doesn't matter. You think you would have looked at it on your way back?
Probably not, no, because I keep both my arms normally
Mm-hmm.
in a pretty big
Pretty
cloak.
covered.
Yeah.
I'll
I also
say,
probably wouldn't have
yeah.
stopped to look at it as I was talking. At this point, we're fairly confident of what's happening, so I would have just shown it and been gesturing at it, but not looking.
I'll say Sir Ross kind of looks at it. He says, "What does it say?" And I'll say you look at it and you see we fought creatures causing murders, and then in large uppercase letters in a handwriting that must be yours, but you certainly don't remember even seeing that you wrote this. Kind of to the side, it says, "It bit me, it bit me." And then it says, "We are forgetting snake-like two-headed
How does it
creature."
keep getting so much more fucked up?
And so
Man.
I'll say, just as you all are kind of just glancing at it, you certainly don't even remember that even when you were reading the arm. You were like a mile and a half away.
I'm gonna go ahead and look at my other paper real quick. As I notice that, I don't really respond to Sir Ross just because I realize it as he says that.
Mm-hmm.
So I go look at my other paper.
All your other papers seem fine. Everything else that has been written down, including you, Felix, everything that's written down is fine. But for whatever reason, Erlon, the thing you wrote on your arm, has that phrase.
Awesome.
And Sir Ross kind of says, well, that's concerning. Do you all know what creature it is? Do you remember fighting it? Is this you? It seems like you all said that there's memory issues. Maybe that's why some of my
No, but there
members
has
can't
Memory
remember.
issues undersells it.
there has to be many people at risk in the Greenway. I look to Vita. We think the whole thing has to be evacuated.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know anything about stone essas? I read a book or was, talked to somebody about stone essas, and that might fit the descriptors, but we just want to make sure.
He says, sure. He knows a little bit, but I'll see how much.
Does
he
it
knows.
have more than 2 heads?
He says, Stonessas, I know that they are monsters that dwell very deep in the caves and caverns of Sumia. Do they have more than 2 heads? No, and I don't think they're as large as whatever you're saying, are you saying the entire vine has to be brought down
That's right.
or
Man, you
evacuated?
just have that shit ready. What is your problem, Kevin?
It's crazy.
I'll ask Sir Ross, how flammable are the vines?
Uh,
That might be a bit of an extreme measure.
Just a question.
he says, "Well, Vita, they are living beings, so they are susceptible to flame a little bit, but they are quite large and I don't want him to say moist. What word would he say? They're quite
Hydrated?
yeah, hydrated. You know, they have a lot of
Alright.
water within them, so it's likely that you can't burn it down. But what? So tell." He kind of looks to you, Turlon. He says, "You took a memory potion and you were able to see it briefly."
Briefly, yes. I
It also seems to
I don't
be.
remember anything. I wrote it down, but I wrote down that it was going up the entire vine, so it must have been gigantic.
Is there something, some spell or
I
something
mean,
that
Felix, you have another one of the potions. You could take it right now and
I
describe
don't know if
more,
we should
maybe.
right now?
That's a waste.
Yeah. It seems to be related to us blinking, like maintaining visual contact with it. Is there some way we can stop ourselves from blinking or something to work around the illusion? So I'll ask Sir Ross.
He says, "Well, I will say I remember writing about that back in my times with the 10 cuts. We would sometimes have contraptions to hold people's eyes open, but I don't know if that
Right.
That sounds awful.
is that something that you all want to do. I
I'm
mean,
gonna go help.
uh,
Oh shit, they got
Wow.
snacks in here?
oh,
Oh
shit.
yeah.
It's dried meat. I carry it on me all the time.
Oh, can I have some?
Just
No.
a pocket full of
That's
meat.
fair, sorry.
You're a druid. You don't want to eat animals.
No, I'm fine with eating animals.
Anyway.
Okay.
Oh,
Anyway,
man.
sorry. I'm a little hungry.
Yeah. Sir Ross, that kind of looks to you all. Uh, big ups. Turlon, give me,
Big ups. Big ups.
as you all are talking,
Another roll in this moment can only be good.
it would be good to roll high on this, I'll say that.
That makes
Give,
me feel worse.
give me an Arcana check.
Can we all do it?
It would only be Turlon in this instance.
Yeah, you're
It's
gonna
a
want to pass
stone,
this check. Don't
I'm
worry
gonna lose
about
my
it.
mind.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. Just pass or else.
You
But
just
I'm
got
not
a
dealing with this stone right now.
23.
stone chicane.
It's not the stone.
Okay.
I will say just to bring up things related perhaps to the stone. As you
Wait,
were
awesome.
getting away, Turlon, the pain that was in the center of your forehead kind of started fading away as you got further and further from the Greenway Resort. I'll say you noticed that.
Great.
But based off of this roll, Turlon, you're thinking back to this moment when you took the potion, how odd of an experience it was. Whenever, maybe you have, but I'll say your experience with potions in general is, this was a memory potion. It is odd to you that anything happened with your ears. You felt this immense pain in your ears, and everything was muffled for a few seconds, and then your ears popped, and the snakes began to fade. So I'll say that was odd, and you do remember that aspect. You don't remember exactly what you saw, but you do remember your ears hurt. Your ears kind of still hurt a little bit.
Dude, the thing bit off Turlon's ears. We just forgot. Turlon's
You all
always had
look.
no
Turlon
ears.
has no ears,
Turlon's always had no ears. What are you
bleeding
talking about?
That's
profusely.
bad.
But I'll just say the thought crosses your mind.
What the
That your
flip?
ears hurt, or what the flip?
Okay, I'm gonna marinate that thought for a few minutes. Not sure what to say about that one.
Bad shit's going on all around.
Turlon, so the you wrote the It Bit Me is new, right, Turlon?
Yeah, I don't recall being bit. I mean, I must have been. I had some. There's
That was
some marks on
probably
my. I pull up my cloak a little bit to look at my shoulder. I mean, does the wound look different
Yeah.
than earlier?
You all see, this kind of line of, this deep kind of indent. As you'd imagine, like, trying to think what would be best.
for a brief moment. It looked like Steven just died.
I was trying to
Just went
imagine
limp in his chair. Fuck,
heart
died.
attack.
They killed Mr.
What a way
Sumia.
to die.
No,
What a way to die.
died playing Sumia. God,
Di-
yeah.
Died trying to think of a visual analogy for what this looks like, and my analogy that I came up with when I died was that it's as if you had a block of cheddar and you just kind of put your like teeth into it a little bit, and then you took your mouth off of it, and it's just like
Awful.
these marks. It's almost like that.
How big were these things?
And
Looking
I'll
at
say
my
and I'll
mark.
say the mark is like there's only maybe 3 of them, so it's like each tooth, as it were,
Oh,
almost
So it
looks
must have
like
been massive.
3 or
Which one
4
is
inches.
big?
Tried to
Yep.
bite your arm off.
Would feel
Okay.
that way, yes.
Okay.
And I mean, if this is the same thing that bit me is what I wrote down seeing outside the Greenway, there must be dozens of them.
Hey, Sir Ross, do you
Yes.
have any like physicians here? Like, I don't really know. I'm not good with like anatomy and shit. Like, I only know like a little bit, some healing. I'm not like a physician. Do you have anyone that would be better that you
Yeah.
could like
Yeah.
call
Yeah.
that
He's
lives in
kneeling.
the
He
base?
says, "Yes, yeah, we can absolutely." And he kind of yells over to one of the members to go and reach their healers.
I'm just scared that we got hurt and we forgot before we
Wait,
could take care of it.
poison would be bad.
That would be pretty bad.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah. Anyway,
Anyway, Sir Ross kind of says, "Well, you all look like you've been through a lot. I know the room that we booked for you all was very high up, and you were attacked in the room, is what you said."
yeah, that
seems like it.
concept is incredibly frightening every time I remember it. But yes,
He's kind of holding the vertebrae kind of thing, and he says, "And this is from the creature."
are the words back, by the way, on the
Are you
paper
on the
that we
on
taped
the
it
on the thing?
on the
Yes, yeah,
phone? Okay,
yes,
good.
yes. That'd be crazy.
I think you already said
Uh,
that, but I forgot.
yeah, that would be crazy if they weren't there. But they, he says, and this is a vertebrae from the creature. Well, that is concerning.
So Ross,
Yes,
how far away are we from the Greenway?
we're about 5 miles away.
Can you get a clear sight line and do you have a telescope?
From here
We,
to
we,
the Greenway.
we believe the illusory magic is limited in space. Can't go that far.
Hmm. What a spell. I'll say he says, well, we do have some things that can make you see further, but to see the Greenway Resort vine itself, you'd have to be at least within a mile of it. There's vines blocking the view from it from quite a way. I mean, I guess, kind of puts his head up, I guess if you went into the sea and got a good distance away, you could look at the vine.
It must just look like vines. Otherwise, people would have said something. If
I mean, yeah,
they
do
noticed it would look different.
we remember it used to be a plate. It used to look like a plate, right? The bone
Mm-hmm.
that hasn't
Yes.
left us yet. Okay.
Yes, that is distinct.
Okay. Sweet. Cool. Yeah. If people just must.
Must
Well, I
just
guess
look like the hotel.
just looks like something normal, and then no one thinks about it.
Yeah.
Oh, what I wanted to do before, but we were walking, and I didn't want to stop us from getting back here.
Mhm.
and I'll ask everybody this as well. Like when we were going to the hotel, did any of you get like that feeling that you forgot something? Because there like a distinct feeling where we're like a little bit of confusion. Where like obviously this is a dinner plate, but there was like a little tinge of something in the brain. Or
I'll
am I
Not
making
say,
an
that I
assumption?
can
Did we?
recall.
uh,
I feel
say,
like I remember you talking about.
yeah, I'll say based off of
Based
various things. Let me make some rolls. Mm,
Thought that was a
Always-
bowl. Thought he was
always
gonna
give
say
me the
eating
bowl.
oatmeal.
Stuttering in the dark at that.
Based. Sorry, guys.
Felix, you ask this question to
Ponder.
the group. You pondered to the group, and John, the rest of you don't remember anything distinct, but John, you do remember that as you were approaching, uh, as you were approaching, you did feel like you kept seeing things out of the corner of your eye. You would look over and they weren't there.
Mm.
Now, I might have just been having my vision blocked by the helmet, but I do remember seeing things out of the corner of my eye, and when I went to look at them, they just weren't there. The time I didn't really mention it, didn't seem like it was important. In fact, I'm just finding out about it now, but you know, that was something to remember. So I think it's just kind of, it's almost like chance, like you're rolling a dice if you notice this thing.
It's
We have to
crazy.
take that as fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I guess when we go back there, we just need to keep in mind that like that feeling of deja vu or forgetting something is important, and we should like call it out when we feel that.
Now,
Right.
the other thing is,
Mm.
apparently we killed one of these heads. I mean, we got a vertebrate as something.
Yeah.
But then Turlon says, well, there's dozens of them, so
Dozens.
and they were coming out of the ground or at the base of the vine.
They look like, yeah.
So
What are we
either
supposed
there's
to
more
do?
than one, or they're attached, or just killing these heads won't be enough.
Do we
I wonder
know
if
if
it gets a new
there's
head every time it eats somebody.
is there a basement
That would suck.
level of the hotel? Like, can you go underground in that area?
This thing is illusory. It doesn't even need to hide underground. It could just be at the base. No one sees it because of the illusion magic.
Yeah. Well, someone said it liked underground something.
Yeah,
Or can you
Ross was
just-
saying that the Stanessa lives in
Hey,
cave.
boss Ross,
And says yes.
can you get him to shut down the hotel while we investigate?
I mean, aren't there going to be celebrations or something for 100th Day there? There could be a lot of
Oh
casualties.
shit! It's gonna eat
Don't
a
you
lot
have
of people.
guys? Can't you send guys over there to kill it or something? What are all these people doing here eating?
He says that. He
Plus,
says
it's
one.
midnight. Why are they having dinner at midnight, man?
Exactly. Why are they all so hungry?
It's like it's 1 now. Like, when did they get back? Anyway, sorry, I'm stressed.
He says, well, one thing at a time. Shutting down the resort. I have friends in high places, but I don't know if I can convince that, especially with Hundreds Day coming up. I'd imagine that this is going to be a big time for the resort to be making money. I'm not sure if I can
Oh,
have it
that's
closed
important.
down with.
Yeah.
He says,
Well, I mean,
the
they're not
only,
gonna believe us for a monster that we can't even remember.
yeah, the only
Yeah.
evidence we have of the monster is this, and he holds it up. He says, and it apparently looked like a plate when
Oh,
One
yeah.
you
person,
were nearby.
one person did say it looked like a bowl, which I think saved our lives, or will in
Yeah.
the future. To be completely honest with you.
He said, well, but yes, what was it? There was one other thing. Oh yeah, don't we have people? Sarah says, well, we do have members, and we could get all of the members to go and try and fight this creature, but it can't even be seen, even,
We
and
think, I don't know
yeah.
if that's true. We just don't remember it. I mean, we clearly fought it and survived. I
Hmm.
mean, some of us have made more major wounds, and I kind of look towards Vita, who presumably is bruised all over.
Yeah.
But
Oh, yeah,
we
what
made it
about
out
him?
of fighting
Looks like a
some
beanbag of a
portion of
Blood
this
coming from my mouth.
creature.
I think I'm fine, guys.
Yeah.
Actively bleeding.
Lucky you.
You say we can absolutely send reinforcements, but I would prefer to know a little bit more about where we're going and what we're fighting before we just send people, especially with seems
sent
like
us.
we can't even remember. Yes, and you all have done very well. But
Maybe
I
we
have
should get that guy Sarash, because he's dealt with this before.
I could have him come along with you as well if you want to make another scouting trip, but I don't want to send dozens of people before
Okay, all right.
we have some
Maybe
idea of what's being
dozens.
fought.
Maybe just send like 1 or 2 guys who are really strong, who got
They're
a
just
good
gonna
mind
die.
on them, just to back us up. I was thinking Lehman and Rennie. Are they available? I talked to them a couple of times. They seem pretty built.
Yeah. Ro-
You scoped out all the bods of all the
Mhm.
guys.
See them in the
Uh,
gym.
roll a diplomacy check for me, John.
Letty check active.
1.
One.
Oh,
Okay. All
that's
right.
pretty good. That's pretty good.
There's a 1 in there.
Mm-hmm.
There is a 1 in there. So Ross says, I can get yes. Yeah, I remember the arm wrestling tournament we did like a week ago, and those were
Mhm.
some of the finalists. Of course, you won it, but
Yep.
we can we can have them join as well, just for another scope. But please do
Whoa.
if you do.
Felix, what are you doing?
I'm not casting spells. I'm
Ow.
putting them in chat. I'm putting them in chat so we can remember.
You're tearing me apart.
I'll just cast some shit right now, man. I got spells, bro.
That's so funny.
All right.
I'll say as you. He says, but I could send a couple of people more with you to scope out. But please, if you discover something, discover this is one creature, if there's a home base or whatever you're saying, please come back and get reinforcements. I
Well,
don't
we've already
know if
discovered we need. I don't know what else there is to discover.
If we go
There's
back,
something
we're
there.
probably either we're gonna all die or the creature will have to die and the hotel will come down. I don't think we're
Yeah.
just gonna see it and then come back again.
There's not much else for us to discover. I mean, we
Like
know
the fact that we got out, I think is it was lucky.
You're powerful. You're so powerful. Why can't you just come? What are you doing here?
I'm heading an organization. There are many people here, and I have many other contracts that I'm surveying over.
It would be pretty bad if you died.
I understand your concern, Vita, but you
don't
all
want him in this fight.
you all say that
He
there's
was like 5th. He was like 10th in the arm wrestling tournament.
what can I say? I'm
That
not that
was already-
strong. But he says, but you all say that there's nothing more to learn. I don't know if that's entirely true. What do we know exactly? What
I don't know if we
where
said
this
nothing more to
creature's?
learn.
I think there's more to learn, but I think we will be in very big danger if we go back to learn anything else.
Do you think you have anything that can help us out with the memory loss issue?
Well, you all said that those memory potions seemed to help. We could concoct a lot of those. If you
That'd be a start.
think that would help. I mean, is there any other? Did you all said that it seems to not work when you're far away? Well, that doesn't exactly help us. But is there anything else that would indicate that you all saw if you kept your eyes open, it seemed to help, not blink as
Do you
much?
do you have a telescope I can use?
So we have telescopes.
A periscope? Okay, can I have one of those?
Says, yes, we can do that.
All right. Do you guys want one?
Sure. I think we should all get them if they
Okay.
have 4.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they got 4. I'll say they have 4 telescopes at this citywide investigation bureau.
Let's see. Inventory.
City, yeah, and then you remember how big the actual city is. Yeah.
Equipment.
Okay, because I have an idea.
Let's see.
What's your
Periscope.
idea?
I'm gonna climb to the top of another vine, outside a little bit outside of a mile,
Mhm.
and then I'm gonna scope into the Greenway Resort and see if I can see it.
Glad you're doing it and not me.
And then what?
And then I can report back on what it looks like, where the heads are coming from, what
Got
they're
it.
doing.
Yeah, because
Got it,
maybe
got
if
it.
he's far away enough, the magic won't work on him.
But he's got to be close enough. So yeah, about a mile away. Seems okay. Great.
I think it's a good call.
And then the three of us cannot do that.
John, how would you get up to the top of one of the vines? Just like climbing?
I was thinking about climbing, yeah.
You seen him? He got up. He beat
That's-
us almost the elevator.
I just wanted to check. John, I
It's like
could
a
come with
second
you.
of flight.
Okay, you want to like turn into a bird and like hang on my shoulder or something, or
Oh, should we
Yeah.
eat those new memory potions first? How quickly can you have those going, Sir?
Well, maybe me and Turlon can help with that.
Well,
while
I
they
mean,
go
John
do
and I are going now. It's the middle of the night.
Yeah, Saras says we can concoct all these things, and we can get, but you all should probably go to bed. We have beds and cots available
Yeah,
that
we
you all
need-
can sleep in. You all
we
look
need 8
I-
hours.
pretty beat
8
up.
hours
No
minimum.
urgency here. No urgency here.
No, we need 8 hours.
I got no spells, motherfucker,
He's
and I'm
got
not
a
equipped.
strict regimen.
I got no spells, and none of the ones I do have are equipped to deal with this. So yes, I
you
do
obviously.
need to rest.
I'm not going to be not trying to be mean, but when it comes to muscle development, you need 8 hours.
I
minimum.
That's
I
good
had
to
thought
know.
about that. I don't want your muscles to falter.
Thank you.
We'd be in a lot of trouble if your muscles.
My
weren't
muscles,
performance.
your spells, my muscles. You know what I mean? So,
Yup.
Yeah.
Yup. Yup.
Yup. Yup.
Yup.
Yup. Saras says, "Well, yes, we can concoct some of those potions. I'll say you just give them the recipe. There's a place for you
Yeah,
to
I
sleep.
can
I'll say
contact them.
just for the expediency, the physician. That's what I'm trying to say. Looks over you all. No poison or anything. Just like described before, just kind of blunt trauma. Looks like there is a bite mark of a very large creature on your left shoulder. I'll turn on. And I'll say for you, Felix, as they're kind of looking you over once over. It seems like you have a similar bite mark on you. It's very faded. It doesn't
Right, I
really
got
hurt that
frostbite.
much, but I'll say make an Arcana check for me, Felix.
Oh wait, no, I'm trained in that. I'm trained in that. Never mind,
also,
guys.
Guys.
Felix, get a grip.
Maybe some sleep will help with that.
It hurts to be
Yeah,
I
8
alive.
didn't
hours.
use any items, but did any of you guys use items?
Oh shit.
No.
No, but that's a good idea to keep out. That's a good. Good idea.
What do you mean items?
Wait, what does
Like,
that mean?
Did you guys use any equipment to fight the monster? I don't have anything really on me
That we
besides my
wouldn't have
fists.
now.
No.
No.
Okay.
I'll say that based off your role, Felix, it's the injuries. Based off your just general Arcana feel, the injuries to you look like injuries you've sustained whenever you've been in an animal form, and you have transformed back into your body. They're kind of faded from whatever injuries you sustained as an animal. It looks very similar to that. So you must have turned into a creature when you were fighting this being.
That's a good point. This is my last question. Since I feel like it would make sense that I would know exactly how many times, like how much
How much
energy I have left to
you got.
transform into an animal. So like,
Yep.
I guess like that could be useful to keep track, to help keep track of like when we've seen it and when shit has gotten bad. Should we forget? It's like, well, for some reason I can't transform into animals anymore, which means something must have happened. Anyway,
Yes.
I'm gonna go to bed. Go eat.
All right, night, Craig.
Yeah, bye.
Yeah, nighty night.
Bathroom alert. IRL.
Bathroom alert.
Bro, he's churning.
Everybody hit the full rest button in Foundry.
Can I ask Sir Ross something real quick?
Of course you can.
On the way to
You
bed?
want to do it on the group or away?
Oh, that's fine. I'm just gonna ask him. Does he have anything to where I can not dream? Something that doesn't knock me out.
Sarah says, yes, we have some things for that. You've been having nightmares.
Yeah, I don't like this place. I'll take it.
Saras kind of nods and says, I understand. Maybe more than you may know. And he'll you can have a thing to make sure you don't dream tonight.
Yes.
Yes. You all fall asleep in these little cots.
Where I was
They got a whole
snoring
bunch of bunk beds and a little lower floor. That's kind of similarly shaped to this one. But anyway, you all fall asleep, and just real quick, nothing too crazy. I'd like dream rolls from all of you, except for Vita, because he took something to make sure he doesn't dream
Congrats.
tonight.
Vita doesn't get to roll anything today. But there's been 3 rolls now. You said everyone roll, but Vita.
I'm fine with that.
6.
Oh my
Holy shit.
god, I suck.
Oh wow, this is
Oh,
crazy.
poor me. I don't get to remember getting
I
beat.
kind of
to death
hope
by
I roll
freaking
good
worms.
because I have no idea what John's dreams could actually be.
Let's see.
Oh!
Oh my god.
Opposite
Wow.
side of the spectrum. Opposite side of the
Holy
spectrum.
shit.
That's funny. We'll go in the order of the rolls. Felix, you remember your dream in a series of images. As you kind of wake up, you can only remember these moments. You remember one of the images is you standing in the room that you fell asleep in, kind of in the center with a whole bunch of cots around. The next image is entirely different. It is you standing in the middle of what looks like to be a desert, sand all around you, dunes far in the distance. But it looks like there's a glow along the entire horizon. It's kind of slight orange glow into the darkness of the night. There's stars in the sky. The other image you remember is a large snake-like head filling up almost your entire vision within this same place of this dune-filled land. This huge, like almost cobra face, but the eyes are piercingly straight or staring straight at you. As it, that is the image you remember. And then the last image you remember is your perspective of almost you laying on the ground. You can see your body once again still in this dune-like area, looking up, and you see the green outline, almost like this ghostly outline of what looks like to be like a female shape. And that is all you remember from your dream.
So like the last image is me seeing my own body looking up.
It's you laying on the ground, and you see standing like kind of at your feet this this green silhouette, almost ghost-like.
And I hate this stupid ass desert.
of a
I'm just gonna say it.
of a
Say it.
of a female figure. But I will say, when you wake up, the medallion that you've been wearing feels a little bit heavier than normal. Something you notice. There's nothing wrong with it, but just something you pick up on. Turlon, your dream. Your dream is a single vision, but also 2 sounds that kind of continue to ring in your head. A single image is what looks to be this giant stone room that's cylindrical. You see these 2 giant, almost, they're not called braziers. What are they called? Giant, like, torch bowls, I guess to put it,
I think they are called braziers.
Oh, well, there you go. Giant braziers hanging in the air. One side of it kind of has this opening that appears to be outside. It looks like the wall is kind of broken on the other side. And throughout this room, it's a very large room, there's a whole bunch of pedestals with various colorful items on them. You see there's these shelves around the entire room. There appears to be various knickknacks. And so you remember this vision, you remember this sight, but more so, kind of still vibrating within your head. Vibrating within your head are two lines that you remember hearing. You remember hearing, Alden Costello, show yourself. And the other thing that you remember is
Alden, who's that? I don't
Man,
remember
fuck
anyone named
that
Alden.
robot. Fuck that stupid
you
wizard.
remember.
He's not a
Why
wizard.
is there a robot around the fucking world?
You don't.
Sumia stays supreme.
What's even more perplexing to you, what you hear next, is that same voice, but it says, "Vein breakers, await," and that is what you remember.
Oh no! Why? How long has he had that voice changer ready just for
Sumia is
somebody to?
better and better every day.
Yeah, we love a good voice changer.
So that robot knows where we are.
How
Great.
does he know?
That's what I took from that.
How does he
Great,
know?
great.
And I
So
will
great. We have
say,
something else. We have something else hunting us too.
I've been telling y'all we gotta leave 08.
Okay, they'll where we go next.
you and Turlon, what's most unsettling is you recognize that voice. You have heard it before.
Awesome. That's bad.
Hot
take. That's not good.
Let me scroll up real quick.
They might cancel me for saying this, but I think this is bad.
If you scroll up in our DMs looking for a name, that's
Mods
extra
cancel
bad.
this guy.
Yeah,
That's extra double triple bad.
It
Mods
is.
delete his Twitter.
I have to go through all the memories one-shot stuff real quick.
Ooh.
Mods, jerk him off.
Mods. Beat this guy's meat.
I don't like that. I don't like that. Okay, what was that?
Ow, ow.
Stop hitting it up!
Stop tenderizing me.
Bye.
What the fuck?
Fuck.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Thankfully, nothing can harm me.
I mean, it's
I
not looking
will-
for us.
Bringing back a classic. Never been worried.
You got to evolve it a little bit.
I sent it back to you, Kevin.
Oh,
The
Steven
same
sent me
message
something.
that I sent you far back in the past.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Say
Don't worry about it,
something.
guys.
No, you have to say
Say
something.
You had
If
to
it's-
say
It's,
something.
it's fine. I'm gonna leave one quote from
We
the
will
message
never.
Steven
We will
sent me.
never learn who this person is.
Metal electrical pronged arm.
I want it to
So-
never catch up to us, but I
Yeah.
want us to keep dreaming about it.
Yeah. Never
When
catches
the
us.
person finds out Alden's dead, like
Yeah,
What's it gonna do?
might be a little mad.
We keep running away from it, so it never actually finds us. So it still thinks that Alden hangs out with us. So
If
it's
it doesn't
just-
bother Steven, I'm gonna send this message spoilered in the Sumia chat because I presume I'd be willing to tell you guys about it at some point.
Is it like his parents sent someone to look for their son? Like he's.
Man, you have to build a Terminator to find our piece of shit son because we don't want anybody else.
kind of
Yikes.
sucks ass.
I'm not even clicking it. I'm not clicking it.
I don't want to click it from
You
the
don't-
meta perspective, but
You don't gotta know.
I'm not even clicking
John
it. I
doesn't
don't want
know.
to know. I want to keep dreaming about him every few months.
A few months.
Some weird ass robot.
John, your dream.
Surely he has a normal name.
I cannot wait to see what this could possibly
John,
be.
your dream. It's a dream that you've had the past couple of weeks, I'll say. Past couple of dozen days, and as you've been here at 08, it's a memory that you know of on your way to 08. It is, the beginning is kind of serene. You are traveling within a cart, and you look around you, and it's your group that you've been traveling with for a little bit. And as you are traveling along, Suddenly you hear a yell from one of the party members behind you. You hear, guys, what the fuck is that? And you all turn around to see that there is within the desert that you all are traveling in. And you can ask any questions about this, by the way, since you rolled a 96. Any questions now or later. I'll tell you any detail you want so vividly. There is a gigantic hole in the ground that is maybe 100 feet wide, and it's circular, and it looks like the sand is falling within it, and it looks like the hole is getting closer and closer to you all, and the cart begins to pick up speed as you all are trying to run away, and you try turning, but it appears like the hole is still continuing to catch up to you. It's almost like it's following you. And as the hole is slowly encroaching, the cart is traveling as fast as it can. The cart begins to fall back. The edge begins to, come up to the sand. And as the cart is traveling, it is not, the cart is bumping up so much that some of your party members fall off the cart, and you soon see their bodies disappear into the hole. And as it now has gotten so close, you can see that this hole doesn't appear to have a depth. You can't really see it. It kind of just turns into blackness as, there's a drop off of about, 100 feet or so. And then there's just this blackness. And I'll say the last thing where you always wake up from the dream is one of your party members, an elvish woman, is about to be jostled from the cart, and you reach out to grab her arm, and her body is now falling off the back of the cart, as you can see in the depths of the pit behind it. And she is looking terrified up at you. And she says, or she's like screaming at you, "Don't let go! Don't let go!" as you're holding on to her forearm. And you see a gigantic, fleshy, almost, this dark purplish protrusion just suddenly come out of the pit and wrap around her back leg and then pulls. And you are so strong that you are still holding her arm as she gets pulled, but her shoulder dislocates. And you are now just holding the arm as it appears like the hole in the ground has gotten its fill as you are alone on the cart galloping away, and the hole is no longer pursuing you. So this is a dream that you've had many a time.
Fucked up.
Which group? Like, out of all the groups I've been with, which number am I on?
This one, I think.
Terrible thing to hear.
No kidding.
This one,
No kidding.
I can DM you that.
Okay.
But I will say that this is your last group, the one you had right before you got to Owaid.
What was the reason? So we were traveling to Owaid. I
Mhm.
assume this is something that actually happened.
Yes.
Was there a reason I was traveling to Owaid? Like, how long had I been with that group?
Since the edge of Owaid. Or since the edge of the Zaroon Dunes, sorry.
And that thing that pulled her in,
Mm-hmm.
has that been a source of motivation to get stronger for me?
I'll say that it has been a thought that has been in the back of your mind constantly, that maybe if you were stronger, maybe you would have been able to pull her out. You could have beaten whatever this thing is that came from the bottom of this hole.
All right. Were the people in the group around the same age I was, or younger, or older?
Around, there was an older dude in it. but around the same age, most of them.
And I was the only one that survived.
Yeah.
One guy moment. Damn, not another one. Okay, that's all the questions I have.
But if you have any more later,
That's
just
alright.
let me know.
What
Yeah, you
type
can-
of fucking horrible, awful monster could cause Lisan Lagaib, the giant pit fall?
You are not sure. Maybe that's something that you would like to learn at some point in the
Okay.
archives.
All right, sounds good. Do
All
you
right.
care if I mention which group number I'm on?
That's up to you. I just wanted to give it to you for you to decide.
All right. I like that. That was good. I wake up and I go, man, and I go to the Vein Breakers buffet
Mm-hmm.
and get some eggs, some fucking
Continental
yogurt,
breakfast.
some oats, some
Mhm.
greens, some fruit, and just start chowing down.
Mm-hmm.
How do
So
you
v-
eat?
Roleplay.
How do I eat?
Yeah.
You're not there to see that.
Fuck.
Don't
Wouldn't
worry
you
about
like to know? Wouldn't you like to know?
Let's say Vita, you slept well. No dreams. You're knocked out.
I need some more of these pills, Sir Ross.
Do you ask for more?
Yeah, kind of a bottle.
Says, we could give you a bottle for, let's say, 3 more nights.
Vita gets an addiction.
Small bottle, but okay. I sort of the feeling of giving the middle finger just with my eyes to Ori as I take the bottle of 3 pills.
I hate
I know
this
that
bird.
I know
I hate
that
this
forced
fucking
me to
thing.
dream, but I'm not gonna dream.
Oh
Mhm.
my
Motherfucker.
god.
We need to kill this bird.
Yeah.
No more powers for you.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy. So so it is your day. If there's anything more you want to ask from Sir Ross, I'll say that you each get 2 of these short-term memory potions.
Oh, that's epic.
8 were able to be concocted. If you all would want some Veinbreaker members to join, you can ask for that. I'll say that you could either get, I forget, it was like Sir Ross, but it wasn't. I forget what it was.
Sarash.
Sirash, yeah. Yes, Sirash. That's crazy. That was not intentional at all. But yeah, Sirash and or the 2 guys you mentioned, John, the top 3 at the arm wrestling
I don't
tournament. It's
even
up to
remember.
I think we could get some hired meat. I think that would be nice.
you. Yeah.
It was Rennie and Lemur or something.
It was
Yeah.
Lehman.
Lehman.
Lehman and Rennie.
Lehman and Rennie. Okay.
Goofy ass Sumia type names.
Yep.
Steven, I have game questions.
I have game answers from the game master.
So, my spell, Clear Mind,
Sure.
it only lists the conditions fleeing, frightened, and stupefied. I can't cast it at 4th, so I don't really give a shit about anything in the heightened area. But it says you drive mental contamination from the target's mind. So the wording is a bit broad, but the actual mechanics of it are very specifically these mental effects. Would this have literally any effect on what the monster is doing to us, or does it not matter because we are not being affected by fleeing, frightened, or stupefied?
I'll say it'll have a similar effects to a potion, is what I'm comfortable with saying.
Okay,
No,
that's
you're
good.
not fleeing, stupefied, or any of those conditions, but this is a little bit homebrewy, so I'm fine with that.
Okay.
That's epic.
And no, I don't need to ask about Dispel Magic. That's pretty straightforward. Okay. For people that want to do stuff, I'm gonna go last because I need to get my spells in order.
So what does everybody? You all get 2 potions. So now you have 3, Felix, because you had 1 that Turlock gave you.
I don't know if I personally have anything to do because I'd like to wait and see what the telescope situation is.
Yeah, I'll say you each get a telescope, a periscope
Okay. Badass.
that you can see pretty far with. It's not like, you're going to be able to say, for a mile out, you're going to be able to see things pretty clearly.
I think I'm just gonna take one of my minor potions now.
Okay.
That I have. I'm just gonna drink one.
Healing potion or the memory potion?
Healing potion minor. Sorry.
Go for that.
Yeah. Not the other one.
Roll it. Oh, that's pretty good.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
Not bad.
There we go.
That's all I'm doing.
What about you, John?
I'm trying to figure out what's a good spot to get within a mile of the Greenway Resort that I can go up and look at it from afar. And I'm also doing my morning workout routine, which consists of throwing a 50-pound boulder 10 times over and over again.
One Punch Man type.
And then squatting whoever I can grab in the
Yeah, you find some willing members.
squatting the heaviest thing I can find.
Yeah, they've seen you do this with other people, so they're like, I kind of want to be squatted by this guy.
That's just John. He does that. It's not a big deal.
Yeah. The general vibe is people like John. People like how strong he is.
Funny ass character.
Right. So, are you all going to try and look at it, or are you all going together and then John just goes up, or do you all want to do separate things? Do any of you other people want to also try and do it? But just
I was gonna go with him.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else we can really. I'm happy to do anything, but I'm trying to think of anything else we can do to get value out of this before doing having a look.
Yeah, same. I'm just gonna go with, but not climb.
Yeah, I'd say Vita and I could stand the ground and kind of keep guard or whatever.
Shoot the shit.
Wait, can I ask Sir Ross?
Sure.
So what do we need to expect is gonna be happening at the hotel for 100 stay?
Ooh,
I mean, is it,
Says, well, most of the resorts in Greenway have, festivities, various events. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people that are coming to Owade. I mean, it's generally pretty crowded on Hundreds Day, so once you go up there, I'm sure it's going to be a lot of people. But in terms of what to expect, a lot of people, a lot of events, and if there's this creature there, a lot of weird things to be happening.
The average person in Owade, are they anything remotely like us? Like if we're there with all these people and a big fight starts happening, are there just gonna be random people doing like random shit, like turning into things and throwing things, or is it what do we expect here?
Turning into things, throwing things, probably not. Maybe any guards around will help you, but no, most of the people, from my experience, will run away at the sight of something.
Okay. Sounds good.
Sounds good. All right. Are y'all traveling with the 2 strong fellas?
Yep.
Yup. All right.
Yep.
Are we not gonna? We're going to do the telescope thing, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I think we're kind of just scope out of place to even telescope from, but.
So we'll go back to the Owade map. You know where the Greenway Resort is. You can do measurements. I'll say it's like 10 in the morning. And I will say, as you all are going around, I'll say this also, Felix, just because I think your character would remember it. Do you want to do the disguise thing. It's up to you. You don't if you don't want to do it, but like the make yourself appear older thing.
Ah, shit. Hold on. Did I take humanoid? I didn't take. Oh. I'm gonna eat one of my spell slots.
Spell slot.
You can also risk it.
Hold
You
on,
never know
hold
what'll
on,
happen.
Hold on. Actually, yeah, I am, because like killing this thing is way more important.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna, and I've selected all of my spells specifically to fight this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Probably a good call.
Understandable. Okay.
Whether I chose correctly, I don't know.
I'll say as you go up, there's a lot of people. I mean, it is like maybe 10 a.m. I'll say, since you all slept a good, 8 hours. It's important for muscle development. There's a lot of people, especially in the central hub. But even as you're just kind of wading through it, you are going through, and I'll say, Felix, you notice that much more than before, there are people that are glancing at you. And I'll say, based off of passive perception, I'll say, Turlon, you notice this as well. Or is that? Let me make sure. Where are you all? Okay, yeah, you're over here. Felix, you have the highest passive perception, right?
Most likely.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Then I'll say, Turlon, you notice that people are glancing at Felix. Now, I'll say it's not like staring. It's not like weird, like, oh, like as if you were like walking with like a giant, like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of like what would be a ridiculous, like, I don't know if you were wearing some, I don't know if you're walking naked or something through it. Like, it's not like that. Not people aren't like staring, but it's like, they'll glance at you and then they'll double take and they'll kind of look at you for a second and then they'll kind of go back to what they were doing. And it's a good like quarter of people that are here just as you're walking through.
This stupid desert goddess put a hit out on me in people's dreams.
We got multiple angles coming at us right now.
At least there's no robots.
At least there's no robot.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about that. Throw out
Yeah.
sweats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So looking at the Greenway Resort, just like, I mean, you all are able to scope it out over, I'll say, like the next hour. I mean, what, in terms of direct sight line, like, this one's probably pretty good. I mean, this is like 2 miles away. So, like,
We gotta be we gotta be like a mile away.
More than a mile away. Because that's
mile and a half at most. That was pretty good.
Okay.
The yellow one? Yeah, that one.
Yeah, this one I'm hovering over right here.
It's like a little under a mile.
I'm worried that might be because, well, I think ideally we want to be. Well, I guess we could go about it 2 ways. We could be within the mile and a half, and then we could experience the memory loss, but then take the potion.
250.
Or we could try to get
the one I'm hovering over right here.
Yeah.
Feels
That's-
like a
that's
pretty
pretty
safe
good.
bet. Even if I'm on this side.
If we are on like a leaf on this side, we would have a pretty okay sightline, I think.
Yeah.
So
And
I
it's
want
like
to go
just over
here.
a mile.
Oh.
All right, hop up there.
Hop on pop.
And-
So how are you getting up there?
Well, what is this? Is it just a normal vine, or are there buildings on it, or?
This vine looks like, John, you've seen the vines before. It seems like every vine is kind of like an independent, not like city or town, but there's like,
Community.
there's community. There's lots of people that live in these vines. So, they're open to the public most of their first floors and you can kind of get up top. But in terms of like going to a specific floor, you need some kind of magical thing that'll either dictate it or you just have to time it really well. So
All right.
you can probably get up most of the way on like just through traveling up through like the water elevators.
I'm gonna get up most of the way through the use of water elevators, and then from there, I want to see how I can get to the very tippy top.
Okay.
I'm also going with him.
Okay.
I'll stay on the ground level.
Yep.
Ground level.
Nice. As y'all are getting up, I'll say you can get like 2/3 of the way up. Excuse me, which is like like 1,500 feet into the air, so you're very high up, but you're kind of, it starts to taper off a little bit, and as you are towards the top, you kind of reach the end of the waterways, and there are some, there's some like high rise like restaurants where you can kind of go out onto these leaves and dine there, and you would probably have to climb up the rest of the way if you wanted to go higher. I mean, you are pretty high up. I'll say from this distance, you can already see just one, good mile away, which at this height isn't that far away. Like it's like a good distance away, but you can already see kind of just the Greenway Resort vine just taking up a little bit of your vision.
Okay,
So it's up to y'all if you want to climb up further or not.
I do. I want to climb up as high as possible.
Go, go,
Okay.
go. You got
Then,
this.
and Felix, are you also climbing up as well?
I'm not stupid. I'm gonna transform into like a little mouse.
Okay.
And he's just gonna carry me up.
Yeah, I'm not
Gotcha.
stupid, by the way.
Not stupid. John, give me an athletics check for me.
One.
Stupid.
Lose two of them at once.
21, 21,
Oh,
21.
almost a 20. Almost a 20. Yeah, with your 30, I'll say you are able to get up to like halfway to the tippy top pretty easily. Like you're just like this, you are not, you're not almost, you are strong enough where you can kind of just push your fingers into this plant. And it's like if you were, it's not like a tree, it's kind of this softer material, so you can kind of just climb your way up pretty easily. It's not like rock where you have to like find edges and creases. But you've
Okay.
made it up another halfway. You're at another leaf that's really high up. You could get higher up, but you're already kind of at the height level of all of these other vines.
I kind of want to get higher up.
Yeah, yeah. You want to go for it? You want to
Well,
risk
let me see what I can see from my telescope first to see if this is a waste of time.
Okay.
So I'm gonna pull out my telescope and I'm gonna peek through it with the, scope part put right up
Mhm.
against my helmet,
Yep.
and then just like glance over at the Greenway. Greenway was what to see if I can see anything.
Yeah, give me a perception check and I'll roll some for you too. Based off your perception check and another roll that I did, is you're looking at the Greenway Resort, and as you're looking at it, you see there's you're zoomed in, you can see that there's people on the leaves. It looks like there's various activities going on. It looks like there's some parties where there's a lot of people. There's others where it seems like there's sitting areas for restaurants. It seems like it's pretty populated in terms of all the vines around. It looks pretty populated. And I'll see you also notice a whole bunch of like these streamers, like these long streamers that have kind of been laid out like on the
Oh
or
god
on like
damn
the
it.
leaves themselves, and it looks like they're maybe like 100, 200 feet long, where they're kind of like waving in the wind that are like red and blue.
Man. Alright, so are we like on a leaf or is John just
Yeah, you're on
doing
a
this?
leaf.
Or is...
You're on
Okay.
a leaf.
So I would transform back into a person.
Mhm.
John, do you see anything?
I see pretty normal stuff. People celebrating Hundreds Day, but also something that stands out that might indicate worms are the streamers. A lot of streamers.
Let's okay, I haven't
show
used this spell
speed.
before, but let's
cannot.
try something. So
Okay.
keep looking back there,
All right,
John.
I'm looking.
And then I am gonna cast Clear Mind on him.
Okay.
As
As
I
you
come out.
are looking, you
And I'll just say, tell me what you see as I cast the spell.
you kind of feel this energy go within your head, and you start to feel like your mind, which you couldn't feel before, was kind of foggy, but now you feel like you can really see everything, and you blink a couple of times. And I'll say, give me a fortitude save,
Ooh.
John.
Fortitude save.
Please.
You
Not bad.
start to feel this pressure within your ears, like almost if you need to pop them, and you kind of move your jaw a little bit as you're kind of staring, and it pops open, and you kind of shake your head for a moment. But as your mind is clear, or what it looks like for just a moment, it looks like these streamers that you saw as you're kind of trying to stare at one for just a moment. Their colors aren't red and blue and these vibrant colors. It's like this fleshy white, and you're trying to look at the length of the streamer, and it keeps going down and down and further. And I'll say that as you're looking through it, are you trying not to blink?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll
I
say
know
that.
from
Yeah.
what I remember, Kurlan talking about blinking
Yes.
caused some
And
issues.
I'll say you're trying not to blink as you're staring through. You'll notice that another streamer starts to go in front of the other one, but as it's moving in such a way that it's almost like, crossing it, which if there was two streamers next to each other would almost be impossible. And as you kind of move up the length of this one, as you're trying not to blink, you see that this is no streamer. As you're going up it, it almost is just ends in midair. And it not only ends in midair, it kind of curves outward a little bit, and it looks like it's looking towards one of the leaves. That you can only imagine this is one of the heads, but I'll say your eyes are starting to water a little bit. Do you blink? Do you continue trying to look? What do you do?
Can I try to continue to look without blinking? Would I have to roll?
Yeah, give me I guess a fortitude save would be what I'll do for this.
Nice.
I'll say that you can look a little bit longer. What do you want to look for?
I want to look at where the streamers end, not at the top, but at the bottom.
Okay. As you try, you move your vision as your eyes are starting to water and it feels like you really need to blink. You move your vision down to, and it looks like this one that you're following, like the one that was kind of looking at one of the leaves. This one almost comes out of maybe like the 20th floor of, the Greenway Resort, like about like 100, 200 feet into the air, out of one of, like just out of the side of the Greenway
Can I try
Resort.
to notice if any other ones come out of different floors on the Greenway? Like, can I try to figure out what is the one that comes out at the bottom? Like, what is the farthest one goes towards the bottom?
Give me a perception check for me. I'll say this is the last thing you can tell.
Perception. If depending on my roll, I might use a hero point.
I'll say that as you're looking, like, your eyes are starting to get watery at this point, and that pressure within your ears keeps building up, and you're trying your hardest to focus. As you look down, it looks like not only just within this vine, it looks like there's another stalk, or like this other gray worm-like thing coming out of another entrance a little bit lower down, and there's another one lower down. And as you kind of just zoom out for just the last moment, you can notice just all across, just through various holes, you probably see a dozen or so of these gray things coming out of the base of the Greenway Resort. Like, not only just the 200th floor, or like the 200 feet up, but also right at the base. It seems to be just sporadically placed all along the bottom of the Greenway Resort.
All right. I'm going to tell Felix really quickly. It's the streamers. The streamers. The heads are the streamers.
I would have
They end at the
prepared
base.
something.
They come out at anywhere, at any point.
I would have known I was going to do this, so I would have had something ready to write it down, because I
Yep.
told John to tell me what he saw, so I write that down.
Write it.
And I'm not looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also not looking the direction he's looking, so there is less chance that I am fucked with.
That's
I love
fine.
how serious we're all taking this.
Also,
Awesome.
it's the singing. that does. I think it's the singing that does the memory loss and the illusions. That's why it stops after a range.
I'll say
By
as
the way.
you so write it down. Write down what you would write down in the chat.
Oh, right.
You can for me.
What did you say? It was like it's the streamers.
The
There's
streamers are the heads. There's dozens of them. Dozens and dozens of them. A lot of which end at the base of the vine at the bottom.
Mm-hmm. I'll say you say all that, John, and you start blinking and you look through, to try and see the worms again, and you start to see streamers. Once again, multicolored. It seems like the effect of whatever Felix put you under was only momentary.
Did I look? Did I look already?
Yeah, you did.
Wait, what are you right now?
I'm a person.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
Good.
Hell yeah.
All right.
All right. What did I see?
You said that they're the streamers. I wrote down exactly. It's the streamers. They're the heads. There's dozens of them, and most end at the base of the vine.
Can I look through the periscope again and see how many streamers there are? Without trying to look for a monster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you're just looking for streamers, these vines are covered in these large leaves. One of them that you're standing on right now. It looks like there's a streamer maybe once every 3 leaves or something like that.
Holy
so there's a lot of them.
Holy shit. All right, let's get back down.
I would say, fuck, I wanted to say something. What was it? Hold on.
Yo, the memory loss is in real life.
No, I'm just fucked up. Not really. Okay, fucked up. I keep forgetting means intoxicated. I'm completely sober, which makes it worse.
Cheat on your man, homie. Can't get to the door, man. Door stuck. Can't make it.
Door stuck.
So, John, I really appreciate that you're helping us out with this. It's good to have you here. The other two are great, but not as actionable.
That's what I strive for. That's what I strive for.
I also
can't stand and see another group of fellows die. So
yeah, I think this is unrelated. I think we have to kill this today.
Today?
So Steven, you can stop me at any point if this feels like something I would not be able to think of, but
you're good right now.
I was like, so if this is a Stonessa and it is supposed to be humanoid and 2-legged, person-sized, it's obviously not. And that means if it is the same creature, it has to have grown that big. And the only way that something like that can grow that big is by eating. Because I don't think it was just born like this. And if it's the streamers, then it can already see everything above ground. I think everyone's all over the world is coming here for already, and hundreds of days, there's going to be even more people. And if they can't remember it, if someone is eating right in front of somebody else and they don't remember, it can just devour all of them. And I don't really want to think about what happens when it gets even bigger.
All right.
So
that's a pretty horrible thought.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get down to the other guys and tell them that we got to go tear down some streamers.
Sounds good.
I'll say you're able to get back down.
There's how many? Dozens?
Every streamer is probably one of them.
So we should
what are we supposed to do?
Maybe
Kill
go
them.
underground and see. Yeah, maybe
Kill the
pull
heart.
them down and figure out where they lead to.
Okay.
You said you knew about some old cave systems, right? Or sewer systems?
Me? I know they exist. I don't know about them exactly.
Maybe Saras would be able to help us get access to them.
Yeah.
And
I
we
think
could pick up that hired meat and get some extra bodies. If this thing's so many of them, it's going to be dangerous.
I've also been thinking, I'm now saying in character, in Saroth's entry, he was talking about he talked about singing, right, Steven? But they
Want
made
me to go
noise
back?
because it was like one sings, the other eats people. I know you said that. I'm pretty sure we knew that in game 2.
Hey, Felix.
Yeah.
You know how you're able to oh, I'm sorry. Hey, Alden. You know how you're able to
Oh,
turn
okay.
into little critters like, moles and mites and little scorpions? What if you attach to one of the streamers as something that can burrow and then follow it down if it goes underground or whatever?
Oh yeah. Oh. No, I wouldn't remember that I got 8. Never mind.
We you said the singing causes it, right?
Yeah, yeah, I think it's the singing
Do you think
because
we cover our ears?
exactly. I don't know if it would work because I don't exactly know if it's magic, so it doesn't matter if you can get if we can stop ourselves from hearing it. Maybe there's a potion of deafness or something.
I mean, shit, can you prepare the silence spell? Can either of you mages do that? That spell exists in Pathfinder.
Spell preparation.
Wait, DM.
Yeah.
Do I have a bedroll on me?
I'd imagine
Well,
so from your travels. Yeah.
Can I pull out some cotton from the bedroll and then stuff it in my ears?
I don't have silence. It's not primal.
You can absolutely do that. Yeah. You can.
Or maybe some wax, I find some putty and stick it in my ears.
Yeah. I'll say make a crafting check for me, just for fun, dude.
Just for
crafting.
Just to add.
Remember to have fun when you do it.
Yep.
The first step of killing this Sonessa is to have fun and be yourself.
Yup.
I'm trying to be crafty.
Get crafty
This guy's
with
being
it.
crafty.
Right.
That's better. That's better. I'll say, yeah, you're able to, put a bunch of shit in your ears that makes it muffled. I mean, you could still hear stuff, but
okay,
it's sort of you hear stuff. What do you want to do?
We're still pretty far away from the Greenway.
You can
a mile
I'll
out.
say you all can look at it. I mean, it's within view, right? You can see it. It's just
giant. Yeah, we can.
We're now at the base of the vine we were climbing.
Can I look at the Greenway and see if I notice anything different?
Mm-hmm. Let me something real quick. As you are looking at it, and you look and you just see kind of in the distance, you see some colorful streamers, kind of like what you saw. It's very obviously in the distance, so it's kind of hard to see exactly. But you blink a couple of times, and for just a moment, for just a moment, you see, instead of streamers, you see a zoomed out version of what you saw when you were zoomed in with the telescope. You see just a whole bunch of these little tendrils that appear to be at the base of the Greenway Resort. A lot of them towards the bottom, with a lot towards, or they kind of thin out as they get taller. But you can notice that just in this brief second, I'll say based off of your perception check, you see that there are a couple that go very tall, where a lot of them are kind of shorter, and you're not entirely sure why of that. But even if you try and keep your eyes open for blinking, you can almost see in real time that it slowly just shifts into, oh, there's just a bunch of streamers around. But you definitely for a moment saw almost these gray tendrils at the base and going up the sides of the Greenway Resort.
Is there any way I can communicate, plug your ears to my colleagues based on what I saw?
Yeah, you can definitely say that. I think you'll remember for the next 5 seconds that
all right,
you saw something.
Plug your ears. See what happens if you plug your ears. No sound, none whatsoever.
I will try to grab some some various bit of cloth or equipment or something that I have on my person from all of my shit that I carry in my esoterica, and
Mhm.
use it to cover my ears tightly.
Okay. Yeah, I'll
I
say
don't think I have
that.
anything like that. I'm just gonna plug them with my fingers.
Yeah, I think just plugging with fingers. I'll say just, even with rolls, if you stare at the Greenway Resort, it's almost like this shifting back and forth where you kind of blink, you don't see anything, and then you blink, and you see these gray tendrils going up the Greenway Resort, much like what John saw. But even as you see it for just like 30 seconds, and like especially if you do what you just did, Kevin, like, and you try and test it out, and you open up
Pressure
your
in the
ears,
ears.
streamers. There's nothing, no tendrils. They instantly disappear.
I have one last thought on this. As I look to you guys, we're all kind of like realizing this. The only thing that's not connecting for me here is why we were able to see them completely while we fought. Is it just when we're so engaged with them, the the combat and the feeling overtakes the power of the illusion?
I guess, do we know that we saw them so completely when we fought? And we
I don't think
forget?
we remember that we fought them. We just kind of have a brief
Yeah.
idea that we saw them.
I wrote we fought them.
Oh, okay,
So
never
we
mind. We
know
knew
we
we
know
fought
we
them.
fought. I
Yeah,
mean,
but do we
so
So you don't
know that we
remember?
kept the
Saw
memory
them uninterrupted.
solid
we
the whole
don't
time?
necessarily know that we saw, but I guess we must have seen them. We must have seen them.
Well, maybe
If
it's
we were
because the
fighting
one
them,
that's maybe it's because the one that was fighting us wasn't singing.
maybe.
I think
Could we,
uh,
could we work with Sir Ross to get even better equipment to cover our ears?
I feel like if there has to be like a spell, someone that can cast a spell, like a potion that can just deafen us. It can
Sir Ross
just
is
remove that sense entirely.
yeah, Sir Ross's alchemists are a good bet. But it's just hearing, so it wouldn't affect any of your spells, right?
No,
Because
not at all.
you can
I can
still
still
make the
speak.
Right.
noises.
Yeah.
Good spot. Let's do it.
Okay. Yeah.
So we
Okay.
have
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
And now we're walking back. So
Mhm.
game plan: get some of these potions if we can, or equipment so that we can't hear, so that we aren't affected.
Mhm.
Then we have to go find some entrance into the underground to get us near this place. And then we find the core of this creature and hopefully
Right.
take it out where it's vulnerable.
I have something that I haven't used yet. I don't know how well it's going to work, but it should help me see them better for very like a minute, like a short amount of time. So I might be able to help us find the base or the heart and pinpoint it
That's
at
it.
least.
All right.
Could you
Did
link
we
it
want?
in chat?
Do we still want to equip uh, recruit the hirelings from Saros? I think they could be of help.
I mean, yeah, why not? Yeah.
I mean, it can't hurt. Actually, can it hurt?
I mean, if we're sneaking around, maybe. But I mean, John, I'm sure you can find some good people there who aren't complete. Uh, I can't think of a word.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we'll be
Nincompoops.
stealthy either. They'll see us.
Yeah. I don't
So
think we have a chance for stealth. And even if we did, even if we could hide from this thing, well, actually, no, we can't. Like if well, it relies on hiding in plain sight. So I think we just have to find it and kill it. We don't have to be stealthy because it's going to think that we can't see us.
And
And
certainly
it's going to be right
explore.
for most of the time.
We have
So
to. We
it's
have to go quick. I presume.
oh yeah, I was telling John we need to kill this thing today. Like I would prefer to be killing it right now. I prefer to be at the Greenway base right now. But like
Yeah,
the
same.
deafening,
I just want to kill this thing. It's
We're going to be out of our
public
wits without
nuisance.
something to deafen us.
yeah,
All right,
and
let's get it done quick.
also just so that the others are brought up to speed on what I think, I'll tell them about the. I think that if it eats more people, it grows bigger, and it's going to eat a lot of people because of Hundreds Day. And if it grows
Yep.
bigger, it might be able to like do more.
we need to be done with it for sure.
Yeah,
While we're
So that's
walking
hurry.
still, is it possible we can convince Ross to send a battalion of troops or whatever or members he has to patrol the grounds with similar deafened potions if they can make enough?
maybe.
Well, we might suggest it to him.
I would think actually if he could, while we're prepping, if he could send someone or people to find an entrance at the beginnings of an entrance underground to get to the Greenway. Either he has like maps and shit of tunnels because he's like a spy master or whatever, or he has like an opening to get to the underground storage of the Greenway Resort. Just something so that we have to do less work in getting our way there.
I agree. That's smart. So I guess we go to Sir Ross and we tell him this. We ask him to get us something to deafen us, either equipment or potion, and we ask him to procure maps or a entrance to underground facilities such as tunnels and sewers near and around and under the Greenway. And I will interject the suggestion that he send deafened troops, not many, but maybe 5 or 6, to walk around the most populated areas of Hundred's Day at Greenway to patrol.
All right. I think that's a good place to end the session. I think we can start next session with you all talking with Sir Ross, essentially trying to. It won't have to be roleplay heavy, just like, he'll suggest how you can get down to the underground of the Greenway Resort.